Something my godmother told me years ago is sticking with me now. She said, have a backup plan, have options. And at the time, I felt like having a backup plan or having options meant that you failed at something. Now, fast forward years later, I'm really sitting with her words and thinking about what she actually meant by it, because I worked in the TV, film, theater business pretty much all of my adult life. I've had like odd jobs here and there where it was not entertainment, but for the most part, that's all I've done. And I did not take the time to say, okay, well, let me see what else I can do in case I'm in a situation where things slow down in this sector, if things go left in this sector, if things don't manifest right away in this arena. And so, sorry, my son is pretending that he's cutting grass. And so he acts like the gardeners. He puts a mask on and he puts gloves on his hands. So yeah, I didn't have any backup plans. I didn't have any options. And so when I had my son in 2023, I was in a position where I needed to go get any job, like anything that was hiring. I ended up getting a remote job. The first one I quit because it just was too stressful. I didn't have any flexibility in my hours. Ended up getting another job to where I do have flexibility, but I have to work really early. I work from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I'm burnt out because, as you can imagine, when I get off work, I have two kids. They are waiting for me. They are waiting to, yes. Okay, just 1 second, okay? They're waiting to go out like he is. He's waiting to go outside. He's waiting to have fun. And I am still regulated to time. I'm regulated to a schedule to where if I would have had backup, if I would have had other options that I set aside, I wouldn't necessarily be in the situation. And I think that sometimes when someone who really loves you and they're older than you, my godmother, she wasn't my godmother initially. I lived in a close knit neighborhood. She saw me and just told my mom like she was just going to be my godmother. And so whenever she saw me, she always yell out the window and say, baby girl, lift up your head. Don't keep your head, down. Because I would sometimes walk my head down. She would give me gifts. She would give me money. She would sit and talk to me. And when you start to get older, you think about those conversations and what that person actually was saying to you. And when I think about it, she obviously was a woman. I never seen or saw her husband, so obviously she raised her kids by herself. And she had her grandkids on the weekends and that type of thing. And I think that what she meant was make sure you always have something to fall back on. Make sure you always have some safety in that. Make sure you always have different streams of income in case one day you have to go pull from that stream. And so many creatives, I know there could be plenty of us out there, there's so many creatives who only have that one stream. Either they're a director or they're a writer or they're a producer. And I go across these different social media platforms and so many people are begging for work. They're out of work, they can't pay their rent. I don't make a lot of money, but I even gave money to one person one time. I felt horrible because they could not pay their rent and they were going to get put out with their kids. And so something I'm focusing on with myself is building other options, building other ways to make money, still being in the creative space, but thinking about always having a backup, always having an option so that you don't have to do something or work in a sector that you don't want to work in. Sorry, I had to come to the window so my son could look out while they're cutting the grass. So I was saying that for me personally, not having a backup plan has been damaging. Not having options has been damaging. And so I'm just curious if you're a mom or a mom who is a creative, or if you're a mom who's making a semi-pivot, or maybe you're making a full pivot to something else, what what are you working on? What else have you started building for yourself? What else are you doing to ensure that you have more than one stream of income, maybe more than one focus? I am working on my daughter's YouTube channel. She has literally pitched me for the past 2 years and harassed me about starting a YouTube channel for her. I actually started doing it a couple months ago. Again, I ran out of time because my time is limited. But she is, again, they're out of school. She's 6 years old, out of school for the summer. So she is harassing me every single day. She's pitched me show ideas, things she wants me to write. And she keeps reminding me every day, Mommy, you say you're going to write this. You say you're going to do that. And she has a plan for herself at 6. Okay. She has a plan. Like, she's like, I'm going to have this on YouTube. I'm going to have this show on YouTube. And I'm just like, at this point, just going off of her enthusiasm, her energy, and just using that too for myself. Like, okay, well, she can do this at 6 years old, of course, with my help. She's building options for herself at 6 years old. I can, no matter what age you are, I'm in my 40s now, you can build options for yourself. You can build a backup plan for yourself. And so I'm notating, I literally wrote down in my journal what my godmother said to me. Again, she's no longer with us, but just really focusing and resting on the words she said. Have some options, have a backup plan, especially as a woman, especially as a mom. You need to have something other than your main stream of income in order to ensure stability, in order to ensure that if it's something that you don't want to do, if it's a job you don't want to take, if it's something, maybe it's not even a job, maybe it's something or someplace you want to go, that you're able to go do it. You're not restricted to being regulated certain hours or having to work for every single hour, every single dollar that you make. So yes, I'm focusing on building my daughter's YouTube channel and then building something for myself, which I'm not quite sure what that is yet. But hopefully you'll go with me on this journey and you will stay tuned, and hopefully we can support each other as we build together.